What is good, everyone? Welcome back to yet another Alliance War video. This is war number 3. Gets really sketchy for me. We are up against Salty, one of the strongest alliances out there in the world. I am hoping we can at least put up a good fight against them, because they are very scary people. And yeah, I have a couple friends from GOMV in there, so I'm pretty excited to face them, but also, of course, very afraid of them. Okay, but they have the Ghost. Who are the bands again? Ghost, S99, and Scorpion. And for this team, I'm of course bringing my rank 5 Wags. And for the first time ever, I'm using Omega Red. He's been rank 3 ever since maybe a few months ago, but I took him all the way up to SIG 200. He's been at SIG 200 for a while. I naturally awakened him from some crystal, I don't remember. Might have been a mutant skill one? I have no idea, but yeah. Took him all the way to SIG 200. He was probably one of my most used characters way back in the day, in the 4-star era. Even my 5, he was probably my like 3rd or 4th rank 5. Okay, that was the end of that first recording. So right up here, we're gonna use Omega Red and pop on a combat regen boost. It's something to like turn off Mantis's tranquility or something. I'm not sure what happens, but I know it's good for that. But yeah, this is a Mantis on path 4 with, I think it's called steady build up. So whenever you have a debuff on you, Mantis will gain Furies, and that becomes a huge issue for me unknowingly, because she does so much damage into my block that it kind of messed up my plan. I was just planning to block most of her hits and then counter with heavy or just punish, but then I realized how much block damage she does. I was like, oh, I got kind of scared and want to back off a little bit, which is, I would say, it was smart of me to do. What wasn't smart of me, however, was at the very start of the fight. You see, when you play Omega Red, you want to parry a bunch of times to keep the opponent close to you and build up your spores. Once you're at 10, then you can start attacking into her, but I didn't do that. And I made another dummy move right there. I threw an SP1 trying to use the spores to heal back the block damage, but there's heal block on here, and I completely forgot about that. But it's okay, I took her down in 53 seconds, but unfortunately I am going to have to heal up a little bit, because I do have another Omega Red fight later, and I think that's the end of this part of the recording. And next up, skip all these boost stuff, is this Ant-Man on path 3. He has Kindness Thorns. Let's see if I can skip to that node. Kindness Thorns, Enhanced Bleed, and Sloped Armor. So whenever he has an armor up buff, he will place a bleed on you, and also, you know, he has an increased chance to glance whenever he has armor buffs. He does that on his own, that's in his own kit. So, but White Mags is bleed immune, so none of that's, the bleed problem's already gone. I have to wait up for Magnetize before I do anything. I want to make sure most of his abilities are shut down. And right there at the start, it was pretty funny. I tried to heavy counter him, but I didn't light attack first before doing it, so we just... luckily he didn't punish me, we just kind of did an awkward block standoff. And yeah, I had to dash back. If I had just attacked, he most likely would have parried me, even though it was into his block. So that re-triggers his AI to be aggressive again. And yeah, getting off these nice SP1 dexes. And a very nice 15k crit from a heavy. I do have half suicides on. That's because I am boosted, and the poison, if I had, is it called Liquid Courage? I think it's called Liquid Courage. If I had that, and that poison would probably take down since I'm boosted quite a bit. And yeah, so the plan here initially was SP1, SP2s, but I didn't realize how potent the glancing was, so that I pretty much never was able to land an armor break for my SP1s. And I tried that 4 more times, and it took down my health because I had recoil on. So yeah, so I quickly learned, well, it wasn't quick, that it was probably mostly effective to throw SP3s only, not only to avoid recoil, but I think it was the best form of damage. So yeah, my plans had to change. Threw a wild light attack there, but it didn't work. Yeah, and now I'm just gonna wait out for the SP1s. His SP2 is a lot trickier for me to dex than his SP1. Launch off my SP3 there. I will probably scoot up a little bit. We've seen this SP3 animation enough. It does how much damage? 34k. That's probably better than spamming my SP1s that don't even work. And yeah, he does have that one debuff that's ticking my health down because I the disintegration, so that's not fun. And yeah, let's go back to this part of the fight. Text the SP1. Yeah, it's a pretty slow and boring fight because of all that armor and glancing. I was getting bored too. It's like, come on, just die already. 16k crit there, nice. So perhaps next time how I'd approach this fight is just heavy all the way to SP3s. If he does put that power disintegration on you, you of course have to throw a special to get rid of it, because I think it will I think it's like a power drain. I don't exactly remember, but I know it's not fun if it expires. And how long was that fight? 2 minutes? 2:36? So yeah, there's some fight time right there. Next up, I only have 3 fights, but they're all pretty sketchy and scary. Is 53 Killmonger with Stun Reflect, and I think it's Polka Dot Power. Let me see. Oh yeah, I put on Liquid Courage there so that I get all my 60% increased damage along with the boost. He has Polka Dot Power, and Stunning Reflection, yeah. And I put on my Waxer for an additional 15%, so I have what? Pretty much like 90% increased damage, which is really nice. And it's kind of a scary fight. It is a very scary fight because I can't stun him and properly build up my spores. So I couldn't do that thing where you keep parrying and build up your spores. There I tried to heavy counter his SP2, but I threw a second light and that pushed me too close to it and I got clipped. And that kind of messed up the rhythm of my spores. Had I just thrown a heavy after my first hit and lock on the spores, this fight would have gone much smoother. He would take down faster. And for some reason, I'm just too scared to take more block damage. There I took an accidental parry, which is really annoying. I did not want to parry, but it just happened. I just happened to do so. But yeah, I really didn't want to take that much block damage. And which I guess I shouldn't have been so scared of taking block damage, because now I'm in the corner and that's even worse. Although the good thing is Omega Red with the spores, you just have to keep the opponent close to you. Initially I wanted to corner the opponent, but instead my back is pinned against the wall. There, and this happens twice. I'm trying to dex his heavy, but it's a really hot day and my hands were just so sweaty and clammy. I already washed them before the fight, but they still felt pretty clammy. But yeah, my hands were just so clammy. It was just, I couldn't dex the SP2, the heavy. I know how to do it. It's, you have to, whenever Killmonger's about to heavy and you see it, that's your cue to start dashing back. But for some reason, I could not get my hand to dex the second hit of his heavy. Fortunately, it doesn't crit at all. And I'm trying to bait out the SP2. Had he thrown another heavy, he probably got an SP3 and killed me. Or just throwing another heavy, that most likely would have killed me. But yeah, I'm gonna continue this. Got a nice intercept there. That's so annoying. And then I partially dexed the SP2. Really thought that might kill me through block damage, but I threw the SP2 and it kills him. Thank God. And that was such a scary fight. My soul was leaving my body. I really thought I was a gunner. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be the reason we lose this war. But unfortunately, I made it out alive with 14%. And yeah, perhaps I should not use Omega Red in war anymore. At least, well, I wouldn't be afraid to, now that I, started using him again. But yeah, the war is, but yeah, that's the end of my war video. That's the end of my war. I am finished. But the war isn't over yet. We are currently, how do you say it, 7-2, which is not very good. I doubt Salty's gonna die more than 7 times. So at the moment, I think we've lost this war. They are only at 52, and we're slightly over halfway done. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, and as always, have a fantastic rest of your day. Goodbye.